On a tense May morning, a federal courtroom in New York transformed into the epicenter of global attention as actor Jamie Foxx took the stand to testify in a case involving Sean Diddy Combs, once considered a close friend. Foxx's testimony is believed to hold the potential to shed light on serious allegations swirling around Hollywood's entertainment industry, where questions of power dynamics and financial influence have come under scrutiny in this investigation.
Well, I hang with P. Diddy, a lot, man. Sean, Puffy Combs. We hang out, man. I mean, we party, and I call him Black Gatsby, man.
Jamie Foxx laughing off his party days with Diddy, poking fun in his Netflix comedy special, Jamie Foxx What Had Happened Was, which is streaming now. The actor and comedian breaking his silence about his road to recovery after his near-fatal stroke last year spawned conspiracy theories on social media.
A 20-year friendship shattered in an instant. What did Jamie Foxx reveal that left Diddy reeling, unable to recover? Hollywood has never witnessed a betrayal quite this staggering. Once upon a time, Jamie Foxx and Sean Diddy Combs were an inseparable duo at exclusive gatherings reserved for the true elite, nights filled with glittering promises of transformation over clinking glasses, where secrets were traded for silence, and fame was built at the cost of one's soul. Yet, in the stark federal courtroom stripped of stage lights, music, or laughter, Jamie took the witness stand in a cold gray suit, carrying the one thing Diddy feared most, the truth.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
No longer the dazzling Jamie Foxx of glamorous roles, no longer the trusted brother, today he stands as the one tearing down every illusion. And his testimony carries enough weight to ensure Diddy may never see the light of freedom again. What did Jamie witness during those lavish nights of revelry? What drove him to turn against the big brother who once guided him to the pinnacle of fame? And most crucially, is Jamie the critical linchpin in a plot to dismantle the sinful empire Diddy has built over 2 decades? This isn't a movie, this is reality. And you're about to hear revelations never before disclosed, secrets Hollywood has spent millions to bury for the past 20 years.
I know some will brand me a traitor, but staying silent would make me complicit. For 2 decades, I turned a blind eye, deaf ear, and feigned ignorance because I too reap the rewards of that corrupt system. But today, I choose to tell the truth.
At this point, Jamie Foxx paused, drawing a deep breath, his gaze sweeping across the courtroom before locking onto Diddy. Even now, Diddy stared back, his narrowed eyes blazing with a fierce intensity, as if trying to intimidate Jamie despite the witness stand between them. The charges, human trafficking, extortion, and violence, had already gripped the world's attention, but no one could have predicted that Jamie Foxx, once Diddy's close friend, ally, and brother during their glory days, would be among those to take the stand. As Jamie entered, the courtroom fell into a hushed stillness. His hands trembled, his eyes were rimmed with red, yet his voice rang with unwavering resolve.
I'm here to unmask the devil hiding in plain sight. I've seen what Diddy has done, not just to me, but to Cassie and countless others.
That statement landed like a stone cast into a still lake, sending ripples of shock through Hollywood. Jamie Foxx, once a radiant figure alongside Diddy at extravagant galas, now stood to denounce the man he once called a friend. What drove him to turn his back? What compelled a star like Jamie with a storied career to risk everything for the sake of truth?
I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time, partying, cracking a joke, doing a movie, television show. I didn't want you to see me with now, by being quiet, sometimes things, get out of hand. People saying what I got. Some people said I was blind, but as you can see, the eyes are working. Eyes are working just fine. And then, some people were talking about I'm a clone. Well, check this out. Just kidding. Not clone, man, but I'm here on earth because of some great people. I'm here on earth because of God, man.
To understand, we must rewind to 2004, the moment Jamie stepped into Diddy's whirlwind and began to see that the parties millions dreamed of attending were in reality a gateway to hell.
I started hanging out with Sean Combs in 2004, invited to rub shoulders with a music icon, thinking it was the chance to transform my life. But I was wrong. What I saw and went through, it was a nightmare. Sean Combs isn't human. He's a monster.
In 2004, Jamie Foxx stood at the pinnacle of fame. His electrifying performance in Ray didn't just cement him as a Hollywood star, it made him a symbol of raw talent and relentless ambition. Yet, beneath the shimmering spotlight, Jamie found himself ensnared in the shadowy vortex of Sean Diddy Combs' world, a realm of lavish parties, unchecked power, and sinister crimes cloaked in glitz and glamour.
This party's $1.5 million. I said, like, for what? I mean, what are you saying? He said, it costs $1.5 million to throw this party. I said, Puff, oh my God, I love it. The party's amazing. Yes, the mayor is here and everything. I said, but that's too much money. I said, you come to my place in LA, I'll throw you a party for $400 that will rival this party. And he got a little mad because, you know, he was like, yo, no, I'm known for this shit. Don't front.
Today, in this historic courtroom, Jamie Foxx steps forward, carrying the weight of emotional scars and armed with razor-sharp evidence to unmask the true face of Diddy, not merely a music mogul but a predator in human guise, a figure who has shattered countless lives, including his own. Jamie Foxx was an indispensable guest at Diddy's infamous white party and freak-off extravaganzas, events that pulsed with decadence and danger.
It was a place where music thrummed with life, where multi-million-dollar deals were sealed, and where you could rub shoulders with the most influential titans in the entertainment world.
Jamie's voice trembled as he testified in court, his memories raw and vivid. Being invited by Diddy was the ultimate dream for anyone, a golden ticket to Hollywood's elite inner circle. Back then, Jamie felt a surge of pride, as if he had scaled the very summit of his career. But within just 6 months, that dream twisted into a harrowing nightmare. At one of Diddy's notorious freak-off parties, held on the second floor of his sprawling mansion, Jamie and Cassie Ventura, Diddy's girlfriend at the time, were ushered into a clandestine room.
I was in that tunnel, though. It was hot in that tunnel. Am I going to the wrong place in this? Because I looked at the end of the tunnel and I thought I saw the devil, like, come on. Was that Puffy?
Gone were the glittering lights and the polished laughter of the elite. In their place loomed a grim darkness, violence, drugs, young women coerced into submission, and pills that stripped away any grip on reality. I saw Cassie being brutally beaten by Diddy. Jamie choked out, his voice thick with emotion.
He forced her to be with others, even me. I refused, but Cassie's eyes, they were pleading, begging me to save her. I'll never forget that look.
A wave of revulsion surged through Jamie. He tried to blend in, but each party plunged him deeper into the depravity of the entertainment world. The breaking point came when he saw Diddy repeatedly assault Cassie, wielding violence as a tool to enforce his dominance. Unable to stomach it any longer, Jamie confronted Diddy, his voice firm and resolute. "I'm done with this. This isn't my world." Diddy, with a chilling smirk, shot back, "You think you can just walk away like that? You'll pay for it." Jamie brushed off the threat, dismissing it as empty bravado. He couldn't have been more wrong. By late 2004, a shadow descended on Jamie Foxx's life when Esther Marie Talley, his grandmother, the woman who raised him from childhood, who instilled in him the courage to chase his dreams and the strength to face any challenge, passed away suddenly. In the New York courtroom, as he spoke of her, Jamie's voice cracked, his eyes brimming with tears. "She was everything to me. She was my light, the one who shaped who I am." In the depths of his grief, Jamie turned to Diddy, someone he once considered a friend, seeking solace. But during a drunken encounter, Diddy let out a cruel laugh and callously confessed, "You think your grandma died of natural causes. You thought you could just walk away from me that easily." In that moment, Jamie froze, his world collapsing. Rage consumed him as he lunged at Diddy, landing a fierce blow to his face, screaming, "My grandmother was innocent. Why would you do this?" Diddy only sneered in response.
"You're a fool, Jamie. Anyone who crosses me pays a price."
Those words seared into Jamie's mind, revealing Diddy not just as a powerful figure, but as the embodiment of malice, willing to crush anyone who dared defy him. This moment became a turning point in Jamie's life. He realized he could no longer turn a blind eye to Diddy's atrocities. Alongside Cassie, who endured relentless torment from Diddy, Jamie embarked on a perilous mission, gathering evidence in secret. Every scrap of documentation, every recorded conversation, every haunting memory of those grotesque freak-off parties became a weapon in their arsenal. Jamie understood the dangers of this path. Diddy would stop at nothing to eliminate threats to his empire. Yet, fueled by the grief of losing his grandmother, outrage at such evil, and compassion for victims like Cassie, Jamie transformed from a wounded man into a quiet warrior, ready to risk everything to reclaim justice.
We thought it would be the fatal blow.
By 2016, Jamie and Cassie resolved to take action. They knew confronting Diddy was akin to stepping into a hopelessly uneven battle, that he wasn't just a powerful individual, but was backed by an invisible yet formidable network within the entertainment industry. Still, their faith in justice and the searing pain of what they had witnessed drove them to deliver a decisive strike. Together, they released a damning video, a razor-sharp piece of evidence capturing Diddy brutally assaulting Cassie in the corridor of a lavish hotel. The footage, showing Diddy's face contorted with rage as he mercilessly attacked Cassie, was a piercing blow to the polished facade he had so carefully crafted. Jamie testified in court, his voice quivering with the weight of those agonizing memories.
We believed that video would rip away his mask, showing the world that Diddy wasn't some music mogul, but a brutal abuser, a true monster.
But they had underestimated Diddy's power, or rather the might of the empire propping him up. Within a mere 30 minutes of the video's release, it vanished from the internet, erased as if it had never existed. Social media platforms, which should have been a beacon for justice, became unwilling accomplices to Diddy's cause. Posts were deleted, accounts sharing the video were locked, and voices of support were silenced in a chilling hush. The lawsuit Cassie bravely filed, hoping it would ignite a blaze of justice, was snuffed out with ruthless efficiency. In less than 24 hours, the case was settled out of court, shrouded in vague terms and suffocating financial pressure that left Cassie no choice but to relent. In the courtroom, Jamie bowed his head, his voice sinking into a bitter murmur.
We realized we weren't just up against Diddy. He wasn't acting alone. Behind him loomed a vast web of influence, corrupt officials taking bribes, media outlets twisted to his will, and top-tier lawyers eager to warp the truth. We were just two ordinary people facing an immense, unstoppable machine.
Despite crushing setbacks, Jamie and Cassie pressed on undeterred. Over the next 7 years, they tirelessly amassed evidence, records of human trafficking, drug and weapons smuggling, bribes funneled to officials to conceal crimes, fraudulent charities, and schedules detailing money laundering through shell companies. They operated in the shadows, fully aware that each move teetered on the edge of life and death. In the courtroom, as Jamie recounted this journey, his voice carried not just fury but an unshakable conviction. "We knew Diddy could buy the world," he declared, his gaze sweeping across the jury, "but we believed that the truth, however fragile, held a power of its own."
Every document, every recording, every agonizing memory we brought here is to ensure no one else has to endure what we did. Diddy may be powerful, but he's not untouchable, and I'm here to prove it.
In 2023, after nearly 2 decades cloaked in the shadows of fear and fury, Jamie Foxx and Cassie Ventura resolved to launch their final counterstrike against Sean Diddy Combs. They had spent years painstakingly amassing evidence, every scrap of documentation, every covert recording, every searing memory of Diddy's atrocities, from brutal assaults to human trafficking and money laundering through sham charities. In Jamie's heart, the flame of justice blazed fiercer than ever. "We knew Diddy wasn't someone to underestimate," Jamie testified in court, his gaze steely yet brimming with resolve. He had wealth, influence, and an entire network shielding him. But we believe that the truth, however fragile, had the power to bring him down. With the caution of those walking a tightrope between life and death, Jamie and Cassie prepared to unveil everything, a trove of evidence potent enough to expose not just Diddy but the sprawling criminal empire he commanded. What they didn't anticipate, however, was that Diddy had long been aware of their plans. Like a seasoned predator, he had silently tracked their every move, letting them believe they held the upper hand. In the shadows, Diddy smirked, viewing their efforts as a tragic comedy with an ending he had already scripted. He allowed them to grow confident, to dare to dream of justice, only to unleash a merciless ambush at the final moment, shattering their every hope.
I thought I was meticulous. I encrypted every file, backed up all my evidence to the cloud, and used cutting-edge surveillance gear. I was convinced I was one step ahead of him, but I was wrong. He knew everything.
The night before the scheduled meeting to finalize their plan to expose the evidence, Diddy and his henchmen appeared at Jamie's doorstep, masquerading as collaborators eager to discuss a new music project. Jamie, having learned to question every move Diddy made, was always prepared. Tucked into his shirt was a high-tech device, a tiny hidden camera sewn into a button, capable of capturing crystal-clear footage and instantly uploading it to the cloud. As the door swung open, the camera whirred to life, recording every second. But before Jamie could react, one of Diddy's men swiftly threw a black sack over his head, while another delivered a brutal blow to the back of his neck with a baton. Jamie collapsed, his consciousness swallowed by darkness. He was dragged to an abandoned warehouse on the city's outskirts, a place devoid of light, reeking of mold, and steeped in the chilling presence of death. There, Diddy waited, his eyes glinting with the cold satisfaction of a predator whose trap had snapped shut. He approached, each step echoing like the toll of fate itself. "You dared to betray me, Jamie?" he growled, his voice dripping with contempt.
You and Cassie thought you could bring me down.
Diddy unleashed a merciless assault on Jamie, each blow landing with the force to shatter his resolve. "You dare betray me, Jamie? You and Cassie think you can bring me down?" he snarled, his voice dripping with contempt. He pulled out a pill, boasting it was neurotoxin X, a masterpiece poison from his secret lab capable of triggering brain hemorrhages and strokes without leaving a trace. "You'll be its first test subject," Diddy sneered, his eyes glinting with cruelty. His henchman pried open Jamie's mouth and Diddy forced the pill inside. A hidden camera captured Diddy's chilling words. "Jamie, sleep tight." Jamie collapsed, his body convulsing as the toxin surged, spiking his blood pressure and rupturing cerebral vessels. Diddy and his crew left him in the warehouse, staging the scene with a shattered whiskey bottle nearby, crafting a narrative that Jamie had drunkenly caused his own demise. By sheer luck, a passing truck driver spotted Jamie and called for help. Doctors at the hospital, through heroic efforts, performed emergency surgery to relieve the pressure in his skull, pulling him back from the brink of death. Yet, Jamie slipped into a deep coma, his frail body tethered to a hospital bed, while doctors initially attributed the incident to a stress-induced stroke. The attack was dismissed as a random robbery, and the jacket with the hidden camera was left behind in the warehouse. Fortunately, the camera's footage had been securely stored in the cloud.
You're looking great. Hey, I have a question for you about this whole P. Diddy thing, about the rumors that are just online are just crazy. I wonder if you could just clear it up for the fans. And
God bless you.
how are you feeling though?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better.
Is the poisoning rumors true or not? I know it's kind of crazy, right?
He wants to kill me. He's determined to see me dead. Once wasn't enough.
When Diddy learned Jamie had survived, panic set in. He dispatched an assassin to the hospital where Jamie was recovering, slipping another dose of neurotoxin X into his IV line, staging the death to look like a complication from his initial stroke. But Jamie, with his sharp instincts, sensed something off about a strange nurse lingering nearby. In a haze of semi-consciousness, he feigned sleep, subtly disconnecting the IV just before the poison could flow, and hit the alarm button. The assassin fled, caught on security footage, but never naming Diddy, as orders came through a middleman. Once lucid, Jamie pieced together the attack, Diddy's voice, the pill, the suffocating despair in that warehouse. He reached out to Cassie, who was in hiding, dodging Diddy's relentless pursuit. She handed over damning evidence, a recording of Diddy discussing neurotoxin X with a chemist and a list of shell companies tied to his operations. Jamie enlisted private investigator Alex Carter, a toxicology expert, and revealed the existence of a hidden camera. Carter tracked down Jamie's jacket from the warehouse, uncovering cloud-stored footage, grainy visuals of Diddy, his voice unmistakable as he spoke of neurotoxin X and his plan to eliminate Jamie. Analyzing a sample of Jamie's hair, Carter found traces of X metabolite, confirming the poisoning. He also tested the hospital syringe, detecting neurotoxin X, and examined fabric from the warehouse, identifying the distinct scent of Diddy's exclusive cologne. A warehouse witness recalled a black SUV matching Diddy's, speeding away that night. Jamie remembered Diddy once pitching a fake charity, which he rejected after spotting irregularities in its financial records, the spark that made Diddy target him to protect his criminal empire. With Cassie and Carter's help, Jamie traced the neurotoxin X lab to a shell company under Diddy's control, bolstering the case for trial. Today, at this trial, Jamie Foxx stands tall, armed with hidden camera footage, Cassie's audio recordings, and a trove of documents he and Cassie compiled over 19 years. This evidence doesn't just expose Diddy, it unveils a sprawling web of corruption shielding him, bribed officials, sham charities, and heinous crimes like human trafficking, drug smuggling, and money laundering.
I'm standing here for Cassie, for the young women whose lives he shattered, and for my grandmother whose life Diddy stole. He's not human, he's the embodiment of evil.
In the courtroom, Diddy's legal team scrambled to discredit Jamie's testimony, branding him a fame-hungry liar spinning tales for personal vengeance. Diddy sat stone-faced, but his icy glare seemed to bore into Jamie, radiating menace. Yet the hidden camera footage and the damning documents detailing his illicit operations stood as unshakable proof impossible to dismiss. The public, already weary of Diddy amid a cascade of allegations, erupted with emotion. On social media, hashtags like #JusticeForVictims and #DiddyExposed surged, with millions rallying behind Jamie and Cassie in a tidal wave of support. But this saga stretches far beyond Diddy or Jamie. It forces us to confront bigger questions. Where is the line between power and abuse? When celebrities like Diddy wield their fame to manipulate and conceal crimes, what responsibility do we, the audience, bear? Who will feel the ripples of these revelations? Victims like Cassie, who suffered in silence, may finally glimpse the light of justice. Yet those who turned a blind eye to Diddy's crimes, whether out of fear or self-interest, now face the court of public opinion. The fallout from this case could shake Hollywood to its core, exposing the dark corners the entertainment industry has long kept hidden. Jamie's journey offers a powerful lesson: the truth, however painful, is always worth fighting for. But can that truth muster enough strength to topple an empire shielded by wealth and influence? And if justice falters, what will we do to protect the next victims? As Jamie Foxx stepped down from the witness stand, tears still streamed down his face, yet a spark of hope flickered in his eyes. His fight wasn't just for himself, but for Cassie, for the countless unnamed victims, and for a Hollywood that could be cleaner, fairer. But this story is far from over. The web of power shielding Diddy still looms, and deeper secrets remain buried, waiting to be unearthed. Will justice truly prevail in this case? Can survivors like Jamie and Cassie emerge from the shadows and reclaim their light? To keep uncovering the truth and stay updated on the next twists in this trial of the century, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for our channel. Your support fuels our drive to produce in-depth investigative videos, shining a spotlight on Hollywood's darkest corners. In our next video, we'll reveal other big names potentially tied to Diddy's network. You won't want to miss it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will be the next to stand up against Diddy? And what can we do to protect future victims?